Welcome everyone to episode 5 of the Natty Talk podcast. I mean, that's pretty cool that we've got this going for so long, eh?
We've stuck to it
Five episodes. I mean,
so far.
that's a legit podcast, guys. No one can take that away from us. I mean, I don't know if there's anyone that actually watches each of these, but if you do, thank you and welcome.
There's a few people. I recognize the comments at this point.
Yeah, I think so. And maybe we have to get like a more consistent schedule going here.
Yeah, maybe.
Pump these out every week or something.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, so this week we've got something a little bit different going on. So we'll do our usual fitness topics, but other than that, we would also like to jump into a couple off-topic, random bullshit, shit-talking topics. Obviously, there's only so much you can talk about lifting, right? So if we're going to be doing this consistently, we just want this to be an entertaining chat between friends, really. So obviously, fitness is our main focus, but we'll branch out a little bit in this one. And anyway, Aidan, you are still cutting, my friend. You've been cutting for quite a while, and right now you
Yep.
are absolutely shredded. You're the most shredded I've ever seen you. Yeah, look at this guy.
Is the lighting good
Yeah,
right there?
the
All
lighting's
right.
good. The lighting's good. He's shredded. So
Holy moly.
how's the cut going for you, bro? Is it getting difficult?
All right. So just as a precursor, I started this cut in November, and I weighed about 197 in the morning, like 204 on the gym scale, and I'd be like, baggy pants, shoes, and all that. And now I'm barely clocking in at 168.4 in the morning and maybe 174 on the gym scale. So that's like 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh, this is great. I just don't have to eat so much. Felt so good. And then about 178, I was like, all right, I'm going to maintain that for a while. And it was honestly hard to maintain that. And then I got sick. I got like the flu or some shit. And I didn't eat pretty much at all for a week. And that brought me down to 172. And I was like, oh shit, I'm looking pretty good, even though I probably lost some muscle there.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just finish this off. Like, let me just cut all the way down while I'm here, whatever. So now since then I've lost like about 4 more pounds. And now I'm getting the side effects that people talk about from cutting. The whole time I was like, I could still save calories. Like, this is so easy. But yeah, now it's getting tough. And I've been savoring my calories. So I've actually bumped them back up a little bit. And I've still lost some weight after doing that.
I didn't realize
but
you've
holy
been
crap.
cutting since November, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure we've talked about it along the way, but wow, that's like so long, eh? Like 5 months
Well,
or something?
I wasn't cutting the whole time though, because when I maintained 178, that was probably like a month and a half.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know the exact time frame, and then now I've been cutting again for like maybe less than a month.
Yeah.
And I should be done in like 2, maybe 3 weeks. And this will be the leanest I've ever been. So total cut time might be like 15, 16 weeks, like pretty long, but holy crap, man. Like, the side effects I'm getting now is it's hard to just walk around.
Right.
And I know some people might be thinking oh, he's not that lean to get those kind of side effects, but it's different for everybody. Like, some people, they get lethargic from being lean at 14%.
Right.
It's
and
just,
let me just say that you're way leaner than what comes off on this recording, right?
Yeah.
If you see
Yeah.
a photo of Aidan, especially with the right lighting and with a pump and stuff, I mean, you can see the guy is single digit lean right now.
Yeah, I would guess 9.5%, 9%, something like that.
Yeah.
I know that's nitpicking to a weird extent, but I'm pretty sure I'm under 10% for what I think 10% looks like on myself.
Yeah.
And dude, yeah, so after certain sets now, I get a little dizzy, and it's not oh, I'm low on water or anything like that, or low on carbs. Everything's right. It's just literally just being in this state.
Yeah.
And it's pretty weird, bro. So get ready for that. When you do eventually do a cut like this in a few years or whatever, just doing a set, bro, it feels like you just tackled the world.
Yeah, I bet, man. Yeah, I mean, you're looking absolutely freaky right now. And how much further do you plan to take it?
Oh, man. So I want to stick to my original goal, when I started cutting again at 172, which was just to dip below 166 for a couple days. and that's it. Nothing crazy. No trying to maintain that. I'm not silly. I'm not going to maintain this for essentially no reason. So I'm going to dip below that and then slowly crawl back up to like 172, where I felt like pretty comfortable, like
Right.
still pretty lean, maybe like 11% body fat. And then I'm just going to maintain that until I bulk again, which will be probably a couple months down the line.
Right.
I'm going to
Yeah.
start it at the same time as like some friends and stuff. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. No, and it's really cool to see. I mean, week to week, we're sharing the photos and stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
I've been
Like,
spamming you, bro.
no, no, man, I enjoy it, and don't worry, you'll be getting that right back at you as I'm
True.
starting my own cut now this
True.
week. So yeah, I'm also cutting now. I'm a fluffy version, the fluffiest version of myself ever. I mean, I was a little bit heavier a couple months ago. I've lost a couple kilos since then. But yeah, I mean, being over 80 kilos was like it was like a dream of mine, like a fantasy. Like I remember,
Hmm.
weighing like 60 something kilos, which I don't know what is that, like 150 pounds or 140 something pounds.
Pretty
And
light, yeah.
just imagining, oh, what would it be like to weigh more than 80 kilos? I couldn't even imagine. That's like a proper adult weight. I'll never weigh that much, right? And
Yeah.
now I've like for the first time in my life, I've been like over 80 kilos for like, almost a year or something. So that's like a first for me. I'm very happy about that. And I'm sure I'll be even, heavier in the future. But yeah,
Dude,
it's time to cut.
do you have that picture where you like squeezed back into that outfit that you wore?
Yeah.
That shit was so funny because like it was like a little baggy on you, and then it was just like about to rip off.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think you have the same jeans on somehow too, or was
Yeah,
it
I
just the
think
shirt?
I think I might have gotten some similar pants or something. Like I still have some clothes from back in the day, and I mean some of them like I literally they just don't go on my body anymore, and then other ones that I can like
Hilarious.
squeeze on, it just looks comical. Um, so yeah, it's pretty crazy like how much weight I've put on over the past couple of years. But obviously with that came quite a bit of fat, so it's now time to trim off the excess, right, and see what's hiding underneath there. So I started my cut on Saturday, and it's now Thursday, right? So I guess I've been cutting for. Is it Thursday? Yeah, I've been
So there's a
I've been cutting for 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I've
5 days
lost.
in, bro. It's getting hard. No,
So I've lost an entire kilo, which is like 2 pounds, guys.
I
uh,
mean that's in 5 days. That's solid, man. Like some
yeah.
people, they go a whole weekend like nothing happens, and they're like, "What am I doing wrong?" So
Yeah, I
you're
mean
on track
it
already.
goes fast in the beginning, right? Because I mean I cut out all the crap, especially towards the end of my bulk. There was a lot of crap, and especially like the last week or two, as I was like, because I had this date set for when I wanted to start my cut, right? April 1st. I'm like April 1st, I'm cutting, and so like the last 2 weeks of March, I'm like, oh shit, the cut is coming. I better like cram in all this Ben and Jerry's,
Yeah, you sent me the Ben and Jerry's, and I was like,
Yeah, like 5 minutes before midnight on the 31st of March, I was just like downing a tub of Ben and Jerry's. So yeah, no
yeah,
wonder that I lost a kilo in the first couple days, right? Going
yeah.
from that to eating pretty healthy. Um, yeah, so I'm starting off pretty high calories. I mean, 2,400. I think that's pretty high, right?
That's where I
Uh,
started, or maybe 2,500. So
yeah.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, so I'm having no trouble sticking to that whatsoever. I mean, I'm even having like treats and stuff, like not trash food, but I'll have like strawberries with some whipped cream and stuff like that, after dinner,
True.
and it leaves me completely full and satiated after. But I'm sure 2,400 calories is not going to work for very long. So, and maybe
What do
next
you weigh?
week. So at the moment, I'm just dipping below 82 kilos, which is um,
I'm gonna get my chocolate.
which is
I need to know like
180
2.2.
pounds. 180 pounds is what I weigh about now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might stop working once you get to like mid to low 170s.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll probably do this for like another week and then drop to like 2,200 or something. I'm also doing a
Do
lot
you
of
have a weight
steps.
tracking app?
Uh, yeah, I've got I'm using MyFitnessPal. and I'm just doing everything in there. So I'm tracking my calories, my weight, my measurements, my protein and all that. So um, about the steps, you said you were doing steps just before. How many are you trying to hit every day?
I was gonna say really quick right before that. Did I ever tell you about Happy Scale and it like shows you like your moving average and all that?
No.
Dude, that I gotta show you that app later. That app has like made bulks and cuts like so much better. Like I have so much more data,
Oh, really?
and like I never have to like freak out that I'm not losing because I see like the trends and stuff.
Right.
And my fitness pal, it kind of has that in a sense, but like it doesn't have the moving average feature. And like,
No, that's actually important. And I've like my last cut, I was calculating the average myself. Like every week, I just
yeah,
add them together, divide by 7, and I'd have the average for the week. And I was comparing more
mm-hmm.
like week to week rather than day to day, because obviously, you can wake up one day, be holding on to
Oh
a lot of
yeah, it's
water, or
insignificant.
whatever. So day to day fluctuations can happen, and people freak out because of them. But if you take the average for a week, that'll give you a much better idea. But if there's an app that does all that for you, gives you all the nice data, that's
Dude,
definitely
it's
good.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you it after this. But also, yeah, so steps, my average steps haven't even been that high. They've been maybe like 9 to 9.5 K.
Hmm.
And some days it's 7, some days it's 12, but most days it's like 8 to 10. And for me, that's enough. If I go way more than that, I start to get too tired, and then the benefits kind of
Right.
don't
Yeah.
work for me at that point. But yeah, it's definitely better than if I did like 3 or 4 and I just sat
Yeah.
around. So
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, those steps, they can add up to, I don't know, like 300-400 calories at least extra
oh yeah.
that you can eat, right? So
But I
makes
see you doing like 14 and you're totally fine. You're like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting started, so obviously I've got a lot of reserves to burn off, right?
true too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so at the moment I'm not really struggling. I mean, 14 was the highest I've done from these last 5 days, but I'm doing more than 10,000 every single day. And I'm gonna try and keep doing that. I mean, my last cut that I did last year, I also did more than 10,000 every single day for that cut. So yeah, I have no trouble with walking. I mean, obviously it did get a bit harder towards the end, right? Once I was really lean, once I was like closer to 10%, then it wasn't quite so easy to get all those
Yeah.
steps in. But still, I think like walking is like the best form of cardio. I mean, I'd much rather like just go for a walk outside, enjoy
Mhm.
myself, listen to something or whatever, than like be there like sweating on a treadmill, like running, or like on a bike, or I don't know. I
I was
like
gonna
to
say though, the bike is actually not bad if you just kind of like
zone out.
enjoy yourself on it and you just yeah, I mean you put on some music and like when I go on the bike, I don't like push it super hard. I just kind of go
Hmm.
with the flow. But like 15 minutes on there actually is not as bad as you think. It's not like the step mill where it's like 15 minutes you're dead. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do that maybe like once a week, just
Hmm.
whenever I feel like it. It's not like a set thing, but um, I wonder if I tried to like compete and get stage ready and lose like 10 more pounds from here, like would I need to get on the bike? Would I need to like kill myself with cardio? It makes me wonder. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you would be, if you would just be sedentary, or like, doing your workouts, but otherwise be sedentary, you'd probably have to eat
Mhm.
like so few calories that it'd just be
It
like
would just feel like shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
really difficult. But at least if you get
I'm
that,
eating 22 right now, so
how much?
2,200
Oh, really? And you're still losing weight on that?
somehow. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, okay. That's crazy.
My rate actually on 2,100 was 1.5, 1.6 pounds a week.
Okay.
Still. So for like the week that I did that,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, so if I go down to like 1.3, I only got 2.6 pounds left to lose. So I could finish this in 2 weeks, hopefully, if
Yeah.
100 calories equates to the
Right.
rate slowing to 1.3. But that's just my assumption. I'm not a mathematician, so
Okay.
but that's like my plan.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you were eating 2,200. That's quite a lot.
But dude, from 172 to like 169, there was like a week, maybe two weeks where I was eating only 1,900, and
Mm,
I felt fine on that.
yeah.
But then it got to a point where I started to starve, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not competing. I don't need to starve. I can take my time a little bit here, and then
Yeah.
that's when I bumped it back up a little bit. Now I
Yeah.
feel a little better for the most part, but there's still some parts of the day where I'm like, ugh, I'm just like dragging myself around. But
Yeah, on
yeah,
my last cut that I did, that's why I got my leanest, and there was about a week at the end where I just like wanted to get the cut done. I mean, I did it really fast, like
yeah,
I wouldn't do it that way again, but I wanted to get the cut done pretty quickly. And I mean, the last week there, I was eating like probably less than 1,400 calories and doing
yeah,
my 10,000 steps and my workouts and everything, and it was horrible, man. I mean, I was like drinking
yeah.
these like diet sodas at night, like just trying to
Just to fill
satiate a
your
bit of
stomach.
that hunger. Yeah.
Oh my
Uh,
God, yeah.
yeah.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, it was horrible. And I mean, for what, like,
For nothing really.
yeah, and I didn't even get
All of
that
this is
lean.
arbitrary.
Yeah, and that was just impatience, right? Like, I could have lost weight at like probably 2,000 calories or 1,800 calories or whatever, but
Yeah.
I was just impatient. I wanted to do it quickly. So,
You
yeah.
ever seen Nick Strength and Power?
Yeah, he cut like
Have you seen that
ridiculously.
video?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then like towards the end of the cut, he's like, "Guys, I was eating like 1,200 calories, and I
Yeah.
was on doing 2 hours of cardio." And I'm just thinking like, "Why the fuck did you do that?"
Yeah, he was
But he
talking
was like,
about
"Yeah, it
like
makes
why.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the context, it makes sense." But like, holy crap, man! He stepped on stage, and I think he weighed like 143,
Yeah, yeah.
which I mean, I'm not trying to say like, oh, 143 is small. It just depends on someone's height. But I think he was like 5'9", so I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if that was worth it really, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I'm
sure if
glad he
he
showed his experience.
Yeah, I'm sure if he did it, a bit more sensibly, he could have held on to a lot more muscle. But really, when you look at these like pro bodybuilders, like these guys who are way bigger than either of us, I mean, some of them are eating like 1,700 calories or something
Oh,
by the
like,
end. Yeah. Um,
yeah, that's interesting to me because they have so much lean body mass. It's like do they need to go that low, or like are they just doing it really, really fast compared to
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they also need to get to like 4% body fat, right? Which is like
yeah,
something like incomprehensible to us. I mean, even
oh God,
like,
no.
you're extremely lean now, but like the difference between like 8% and 4% is still like huge,
It's
right? Like,
like I'd probably have to drop like, God damn, I'd probably have to drop 10 or 11 more pounds. It's like
yeah,
high 150s, and then I'd be like stage ready. But like,
yeah,
dude, that's
horrible.
like my physique would shrink up so much at that point that my head would be like my strong point. It'd be the biggest thing on my body.
It'd be a head dominant physique.
Like there's already some pictures, bro, where I take the picture and I don't like pose a certain way, and like my head is the same size as my whole trunk, like my whole waist. I'm like, what the fuck is happening, bro?
That's funny. Uh,
That's one of the things that makes me miss being like 190 is like when I'm like 190, I feel like I actually like look, big and clothes and shit like that. But um, not as big when I take my shirt off though. They go, "Oh, I thought you'd be leaner based on your arm veins."
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean, you
whatever.
get the crazy shoulder veins even like
Yeah,
at peak bulk, right? So yeah, I guess
yeah.
when you have like a tank top on, you could look
People
like,
don't know.
yeah, you could
People
look
think I'm like
crazy
12%.
lean. Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, "Oh, he probably just holds a lot of fat in his face."
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Gotta say, yeah. So just speaking about the walking, here's a bit of a off-topic thing. So I found a dog on the street like about a month ago. Um, and this poor thing was just absolutely like on the brink of death, like just a skeleton of a dog that we found on the street. She was so sweet, like from the first minute, she was just jumping, crawling all over us, and we were trying to see if she had an owner or something. So we took her to a vet to do they do like these chips in the dogs in the U.S.? Do you guys have chips in
Think
your
so.
dogs?
My dog doesn't have one, but I think they do that. Yeah,
Here it's like mandatory, like you gotta have a chip in your
really.
dog. Yeah, so like every dog has like a little chip, like back on their neck or something, and then the vets can scan it, right? They have like a machine to scan the chip, and then it like comes up with the details of the owner and stuff. But this dog didn't have a chip, so we don't know where she came from. She was like a little puppy, looking pretty bad. So our choices were to like take her to a dog shelter or keep her, but we felt so sorry for this like little innocent green-eyed, sweet little dog that was just looking up at us. Uh,
Instantly attached.
yeah, so I mean, we fell in love with the little bugger like immediately, absolutely immediately. And so yeah, we just decided to keep her. So we have a dog now,
What was her name again?
Kiara. Yeah.
Kiara.
So yeah, we got a little doggy. She's super sweet. I mean, she started at like 9 kilos like a month ago, and she was like skin and bone. Um, According to the vets, she was like 5 months old or something when we found her, so still a little
Wow.
puppy.
Hmm.
And now she weighs about 13 kilos, so she's put on like,
That bulk life.
yeah, she's been bulking like crazy.
Bulking with you.
Yeah, she's been bulking with me, so we've been feeding her like all sorts of meat and stuff, trying to get her all nice and healthy. And yeah, I mean, the transformation that this dog has made has been absolutely unbelievable. You know, from just like the brink of death to like happy, healthy, and like her fur as well was like all patchy and like
They get a lot softer and stuff too.
yeah, yeah, like she had
Yeah.
like scabs and like her ears were all
Ooh,
bleeding and just full of bugs and ticks and
man.
parasites and like she was a really horrible condition. I mean, she was probably living on the street for who knows how long, right?
Whole
Um,
life probably.
yeah, I mean, we think she might have been like a hunter dog because she kind of looks like these hunter dogs that they use here. So
Hmm.
maybe like our theory was that she like was maybe not very good at hunting, like she's too sweet or something, and so the hunter just
They
might have
tossed her.
tossed her like
Wow.
just tossed her out on the street or something. I mean, we're just making it up, right? We don't know.
Or
Um,
she was so sweet that she didn't want to kill anything and then she ran away.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Um, like I can't imagine her like being very good at hunting because seriously, she's just so goofy and sweet that like I can't imagine her
Hmm.
like going to kill something. Um, but yeah, I mean, this dog has made a crazy transformation. She went from like just her fur was all patchy and falling out, and now she's got like this beautiful coat of like fluffy fur, and she's so happy. So we love her so much, and that dog has actually made my steps a lot easier because she's a little puppy still, and we live in an apartment, and she can't hold her pee all day. So we actually
Yeah.
take her out for 4 walks. It used to be 5 walks, but now she's
Wow.
gotten a little bit better at holding her pee. So now we're down to 4 walks a day, and
What do you want to get down to, like long term?
I think like three
Two.
walks, short term, and then maybe 2 walks. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I work from home, right, doing this YouTube stuff, so I don't mind, taking her out for a
It's
bunch
good
of
for you.
walks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's good for me. It's good for her.
it's
If the
only going to
weather's
benefit you.
nice, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So yeah, I was just gonna say, like, for the cut to get my 10,000 steps, bro, like I gotta go
Easy.
walk 4 times anyway every day. So it's
There you go.
really no problem.
Now you
Um,
just have a buddy.
yeah, I mean, I was already doing like 8,000 steps anyway, just from walking her 4 times. And now we make like one of the walks a little bit longer. We take
Hmm.
her out to the fields where we can like throw the ball for her, and she loves that. So, uh,
Nice.
yeah, so I got a little doggy, a natty doggy. I don't know, maybe I'll show a picture or
Natty.
something.
You're not going to put her on trend, bro? Come
No,
on.
no, she's gonna stay natty. I mean, bro, she already put on like 4 kilos of pure contractile tissue
I don't
in a
know if she's
month.
natty if she did that.
Yeah. And
Bro,
you,
like just post her on like the Natty or Juice like subreddit. Like,
yeah,
I
the
don't know, guys. This
transformation.
dog is kind of sus.
You yeah, and like bro, she's jacked. Like seriously, like
Yeah,
there are some positions where like she's lying or standing, and you could like see all the muscles like in her legs and
good
her at her belt.
striations.
Like yeah, I mean she put on a bit of fat like these from these 4 kilos, but like a lot of it is muscle. Like she looks like a jacked dog. It's so cool. Um, yeah. Anyway, that's the story
You
of my
seen those
little
pit
doggy.
bulls
Yeah, yeah.
standing there like, you're
Yeah,
just like, oh my god, please.
yeah, they're like just as wide as they are long, right? They're like a
Uh,
box dog.
that's just crazy.
So you've also got a little doggy, right, Aidan?
Yeah, I got a Shiba named
Uh,
Nami, and she's not in my room, so can't
yeah,
say hi. But one of these days, we just got to bring our dogs and just put them in the camera.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. We'll do that. We'll do that next podcast. So stay tuned.
true.
Um, okay. So I mean, should I get into the juicy topic of the day, or
Yeah,
is
yeah, if
there
you're
something
ready.
else you want to talk about before then? Do you have, should we talk about Alex?
I was gonna, yeah, that was my next thing I was gonna say.
Yeah, yeah.
Alex Leonidas, dude, you are looking insane.
Yeah.
And it's just so impressive, and it's so motivating to me. And like, he's one of those guys where like you just know he's gonna stay natural. That's just
Yeah.
that's his thing. So seeing him make all that progress, and like, I've kind of had like more progress from like year 7, 8, 9 until now. And I was one of those guys that thought like, oh, 4 years in, I'm done. Like I'm just gonna regress, or I'm gonna maintain this. But seeing him do that, it's motivated me to keep going. And it's like he's been lifting, I think, 13 years now. So
Yeah.
if I can make more gains in the next 3 years too, like I'm just looking forward to that. Not that it's gonna be some insane like 10 pounds of muscle, but if I can go from 10% at 170 to 10% at like 175, like, and it takes me 2 or 3 years, like I'll do that. So just seeing him do it, and especially seeing it with all the fat cut off too, it's like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex is looking insane. And I mean, as you say, I've only been watching him for about a year or so. And in that time, I've like seen his physique change. Like I've seen him make
it's
serious improvements to his physique, like especially his arms and stuff have improved so much. And like just to think that someone can be lifting for 13 years and still make like visual changes to their physique from like one year to the next just absolutely takes a massive, big, stinking shit right all over the natural limit, the natty limit, right? That all these guys whine about.
It's natty diminishing returns. Like
Yeah.
there's no natty wall. Like that just wouldn't make logical sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're gonna slow down, and maybe one day when you're in like your late 40s or something, there's some sort of a halt. But like, dude, if you're in your 20s, 30s, like lifting for 15, 20 years, like why would you just stop making gains if you're still progressing on your lifts and you're bulking when you need to and stuff like that? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
So.
And also, I think there might be some similarity between you and Alex. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in terms of like the mentality shift and sort of trending a little bit more towards bodybuilding, right? Because he was also like all about the bench press specifically, but also these other lifts, where he was getting like the pull-ups, right? The weighted pull-ups, like 1 rep max and stuff like that. Like he was like really hyper focused on a lot of those things, and now it seems like his philosophy is a lot more towards bodybuilding and trying to like craft a balanced physique and working on his weak points and not so much just chasing the strength numbers as it was before. And I think that's obviously made a big difference in his physique, right?
Same with mine. Yeah, I mean, I started out pretty much powerlifting exclusive, and I would like throw in bodybuilding stuff after, and I got really big like that, but then I'd cut back down, and it would just all be gone.
Where did it all go? It was here a
it was
second
weird,
ago.
man. Like in my second year lifting, I think I squatted 405, and then I cut back down to this weight, and I just looked like a skinny teenager. Like even when I would pose and in the mirror and all that, and like it was just everything was gone. So I don't know. I think just over the years, like, and I didn't ditch powerlifting like early on. I didn't really fully ditch it until maybe 2 years ago. And when I say fully ditch it, I just mean like ditching always, trying to optimize my technique to be stronger instead of optimizing it to be harder.
Right.
Like, so now I do like the pause Larson press pretty much as my only bench variation. I just never do, leg drive bench. I never do a wide grip. RDLs pretty much 90% of the time. And I can't even squat right now because I have an injury that I don't even want to talk about at the moment. But I'll tell you about it later. But
yeah. Oh, Aidan, I lost you.
It's pretty worrisome. But yeah, it's like now I'm just focusing on. What was the last thing you heard?
No, you're back now, I think. You just said you had an injury and then you cut out for like 2 seconds.
Oh,
okay. Keep going.
Yeah. So yeah, there's like an injury I'm trying to deal with, just trying to figure out if it's something that'll heal on its own. But that's kind of halting me from like having like big deadlift goals and stuff like that for my next bulk. But honestly, I'd say like 90% of my training is bodybuilding, but I still care about like being strong. I still get happy when like I hit like an 8-rep PR on, dumbbell shoulder press or something like that. So I can't say that like I don't care about strength like some people, because I do care about it and I do enjoy it a lot, but I care a little bit more about how I look, and that's why I've switched pretty much to bodybuilding.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on the dark side, the bodybuilding
Don't say that, bro.
side.
Everyone's gonna accuse us.
Yeah, no, not that dark side.
Not that dark,
Yeah.
just like the gray side.
Yeah. So, how are you enjoying those Romanian deadlifts? I know you started doing those a while ago.
Yeah. Oh man, I got two things to say about that. So when I was 187, I hit 455 for 10 on the RDL and felt great, super awesome. Yesterday, I did 285 for 8, and that was hard. So that's how much, like, losing 20 pounds and going from, maybe 17, 18% body fat to around 9, like
Yeah.
that throws a wrench in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I will
it's
say though,
crazy.
like a week ago, like when I was probably still like 10%, I hit 365 for like 8 to 10 on RDL. So it was still not too much in the drain at that point. But yeah, these past like 2 pounds have just taken my leg strength, especially. It's just gone.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
keep that in mind, guys. If you get lean, don't try to hit like a PR unless like, you're a powerlifter and you're used to like water cutting and you compete at like single digit body fat, which I don't know why you would do that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been enjoying Romanian deadlifts as well. I've been doing them exclusively for about a year. I mean, I bought this like expensive ass like open trap bar, and it kind of sucks that I'm not using it that much. But yeah, it's I really do like Romanian deadlifts. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the style I've managed to stick to for the longest. And it just feels so nice to be able to regulate the range of motion, right? Because you're not just stuck to the height of the plate, right? From how high the bar is off the floor. And I found like it was difficult for me to get like in the right position to pull off the
Mhm.
floor. Like I don't know if that's my mobility or what, but yeah, Romanian deadlifts work great for me. I love them. And a lot of
And you can
people. Go ahead.
you can also mess with the range of motion by like having your legs like more or less stiff,
Right.
and then like you can mess with how hard it is by going really slow on the eccentric or doing kind of more like just a floating deadlift.
Hmm.
So there's like so many different things you can tweak to just milk like lighter weight on that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
absolutely.
what's the most you've done on that up to this point? I know
Uh,
you did 315 or something like that, right?
yeah,
Or
so I
more.
did 3 plates, well, 140 kilos, which is
It's
probably a
like
little,
308.
yeah, a bit less than 315. For 10, that was my best. I did that like in December. And then since then, a combination of factors between me losing weight, I got sick for a while, and then I also
Sound like me.
yeah, and then for like a month or two, I went back to the trap bar deadlifts, and then now I'm coming back to the Romanian deadlifts. I've been doing them consistently for a couple weeks, and I hit the same weight, 140 kilos, 3 plates for 7. That's the best I've done. I did that just yesterday.
So good.
So 3 reps off of my PR, which I hit, I think it was in December. So 4 months ago, I hit a PR, which I haven't been able to match. Like I'm still 3 reps away from it, which kind of sucks. But I guess that's the
Come back.
life of an intermediate lifter, right? When you're brand new to it, then you're just hitting the PRs nonstop. But once you've been doing it for a little bit, then the PRs don't come so easily, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I get a lot of dopamine from like trying new variations and like new lifts every once in a while because then like I start out like not very used to the lift and then I almost make like noob gains on it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And it's just a fun way to switch it up and like, maybe it helps avoiding some overuse stuff. But
Yeah. Yeah, no,
um,
I enjoy that as well. And yeah, for sure. I mean, when you're doing a new movement or like just a movement that you haven't done for a very long time, there's like a even couple months of adaptation for your body to get used to it, right? And it's pretty easy to progress on it, even like as an advanced lifter, right? Um,
yep.
yeah. So, should we get into the juicy
Yeah,
topic of the day?
I was thinking about it a second ago,
Okay,
so
so
let's do it.
this is probably gonna send me off on like a long monologue, but feel free to hop in if you have any questions or any funny things to say. Meanwhile, don't just let me ramble on forever. But
I
uh,
got you.
here I go. So
Okay.
This is what happened to me about 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
I needed to buy a car, okay? And I was looking around online and I found a car that I really liked. It was a sports car and it had,
Audi.
yes, it was an Audi, a
Oh
really nice
no.
car that had,
What happened?
it had everything I wanted.
Oh god.
It had the paint color. It had all the extras. Beautiful car, pretty expensive, right? So I started talking to the owner of the car, and I mean, in the description of his advertisement for the car, it said the car is perfect. It's got all the he just now to sell it he did a full checkup of the car. The car's perfect. It's got no problems. It's had all its services done. Every 10,000 kilometers or something. Had the oil change. Everything perfect. He says the car is immaculate. You don't need to do anything to it. It's ready to go. Right. So I spent quite a bit of time going back and forth with this guy, chatting with him on the phone. Whenever I had a question, he was like super quick to reply and like send me videos of the car, and we spoke on the phone and everything. So I felt like I trusted this guy, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, car's gonna be fine. And I had already bought a car like this previously, where I didn't see the car. I just sent some money as a deposit. Didn't have to do a check or anything because the car was perfect. Picked it up, drove it home. It was all good. So I thought I'll just do this again, right? Now, the problem is this car was on the other side of the country. So I'm on the southern tip of Spain. This car was like in the northern tip of Spain. It was really far, like 850 kilometers away from me, right? And so obviously it would take me a while to go get the car and everything. And the guy said he's got other people interested, so I wanted to reserve the car because, it was exactly what I was looking for, right? And the guy seemed pretty trustworthy. He sent me all the books and everything looked good. So I sent the guy a bit of money to reserve the car, get him to take the listing off and everything. And then I started organizing my trip up to the north of Spain to get the car. And I had to get 2 trains, left here at like 5 o'clock in the morning with my girlfriend. She came with me just so I had someone to accompany me. And
Yeah.
we left here at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we had to go up to like the middle of the country, get another train. Then from there, go up to the north. It was very long, very expensive trip, 2 train tickets all day. We get up there at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Now, I'm trying out this car, which
Hmm.
I have just been daydreaming about, for the past week, the time that I had to organize the trip. I'm just dreaming about the car. Oh, it's going to be so great. Oh, I can't wait to see the car, right? Can't wait to drive the car, all this. I, I get in the car. I get in the car and it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. From the very first minute,
Really?
I felt like something was a bit weird with the car. Now the thing is, I had never driven this type of car before, right? And I also am like a complete layman or whatever you say when it comes to cars. Like I know nothing about cars, right? Mechanic stuff, I know nothing. So I'm trying out this car, and the only thing I'm thinking is like, man, this isn't like what I expected, right? Like I've driven other Audis, but I haven't driven like this kind of like sporty Audi before. But the car wasn't as smooth as I expected. Like there was a little bit of like subtle vibration and stuff
Hmm.
from the steering wheel, right? Um,
Weird.
it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but I was like talking to the guy, and he had an explanation for everything, like very convincing. He just explained it all away. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm sure it's all in my head. This is a sports car. It's got the thin tires. It's got the sporty, like stiff suspension, right? And so I was
Hmm.
like, this is just the road,
Yeah, you're
in
not
a
used to it.
sports car,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not like a a Rolls Royce or something, right? Like it's a sports car, so it's meant to be like stiff, and you maybe feel the road a little bit more. That's what I
Mhm.
thought, right? But anyway, I had this like little inkling in my brain that I couldn't get rid of. The problem is, obviously, I didn't organize any sort of like mechanic checkup, right? This is in a city I've never been to before. And the problem is, this was a Saturday afternoon, which in Spain, Saturday afternoon, nothing is open, right? So
Yeah.
there's no mechanics open. The Audi dealership was not open, so there was no chance for me to like go and get the car checked, right? And I had no ticket home because we were in the north of Spain, and my plan was to buy the car and drive the car home. Um, and so I didn't have like a train ticket to come back home or anything. And on top of that, my dog Kiara, who I've introduced previously, was home alone. So we had someone taking care of her in the morning, but that person had to leave, and they left the dog by herself, locked in our apartment at night, and we had no one else to take care of her, and they even like locked the keys in the apartment. So the only other set of keys were with us in the north of
Oh
Spain,
man,
and I had to get back to the south of Spain that same evening to take care of my
save
dog,
your dog.
and I had no other way to come back. So I mean, maybe I could have looked for a flight or something, but my
Mhm.
plan was to drive back with this car. Now, let me tell you, just from the feeling that I had with this car, if this wasn't 10 minutes away from my house, I'd be like, thank you, bye bye, right? But with the considering the circumstance, I felt like I had to buy this car and drive it home and hope that it was okay. I mean, the guy was very convincing about it being okay. And actually, we were driving around and we saw this like a tire change shop. And there was just like a guy like working there like by himself, just one guy like working like off hours like on a car. And I go in there and I'm like, man, can you just help me? Can you like just look at this car and tell me what you think? And the guy's like, no, I'm going home right now. Like, I'm done. I'm going home right now. I'm like,
Well,
and I'm like, look, man, I really need some help here. I'll give you $100. I need like 15 minutes of your time, right?
oh.
And it was like, okay, I'll
Yeah,
say
I'll
no
do it too in
more.
that case.
Yeah, so he was happy about that. So I got this mechanic guy to like drive the car around. He even like looked at it superficially, right? I mean, he didn't like put it up on a jack and like inspect every little thing. But like I thought, okay, he's a mechanic. He knows a lot more about cars than I do. He drove it around the block. He took a look, and he thought it was fine. He didn't feel anything weird about the car. So that gave me a lot of confidence as well. I was like, okay, a mechanic looked at it. The owner says it's all fine. I'm sure whatever I'm feeling with the car is all in my head. I'm sure it's fine. So I pay for the car. I drive it home. The entire drive home, I'm just like just got this like sad face, and like my girlfriend's like, "Why are you so sad, man? Like you just bought a new car. Like shouldn't you be happy? Like, you'd
Yeah,
think like your first drive, like long drive on a brand new car, you'd be so happy." The whole time
yeah,
I'm just like a bit sad, and like the even on the drive home, like the car is just not feeling how I expected. I just can't like shake this feeling that there's like something weird in this car. But anyway, I'm like, you know what? It's got to be all in my head, right? So, like 2 days after I get home, I'm driving to the supermarket and the car starts shaking. Like
God.
violently shaking. Like the car's going like this.
What the fuck?
Right? So I stop the car. It's got like the error lights coming up on the what do you call it, the dashboard or whatever, right? I stop the car. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I start looking up the error that comes up on Google, and it's like, oh, all these things that could be wrong with it. I'm like, okay, at least let me try and get home. So I start the car again. I get home. It didn't shake, but I also like drove it super slow and was like really worried about
Yeah.
it. So then I call up the like official Audi like dealer to get them to
Mhm.
take a look at the car, right? And they've just taken a look at the car, and now they tell me that the car is actually fucked. So it's like it is really bad. Like it's
They
got
say how it was fucked, like
yeah, so
specifically.
it's got I mean, I got like a whole list of things, but like basically it's got oil leaks all over the place. It's got like
Oh my
several oil leaks. It's got other problems, like it's got a problem in like one of the pistons, which might be like really bad, and they need to like take the engine apart to see if it's like really damaged. And another really bad thing is that it's like from the multiple places that the oil is leaking, one of them is from the transmission. And apparently the car has been driving like with very low oil in the transmission because of this leak that it has. And so
god.
the mechanics are telling me that likely there has been like damage to the transmission. And so, this has like a dual clutch sport transmission, and like to change that would be ridiculously expensive, like extremely expensive. So
Damn.
the thing is that this guy who I bought the car from, he said that it was perfect. That he checked everything, and that he changed the transmission oil just now, like just before he sold me the car. He changed the transmission oil. That's what he said, right? Which is like a part of the service of the car, right? Now, if you had just changed the transmission oil, you would think that like all of these leaks and stuff would come to light, and I think they did. I think he knew about all this stuff, and he
He's just
just
trying to get rid of it.
trying to get rid of the car because he
Oh my
probably
god.
knew how much it was going to cost him to fix it, just like I know now how much it's going to cost to fix it. Which, by the
Uh-huh.
way, they gave me a very expensive quote. I mean, about like 2,000 euros, and that's like $2,000, even more than $2,000. Um, and that quote is just to like attempt to fix it, but like they're saying that it's likely that there's been like permanent damage to the transmission of the car. And so you can spend all this money to try to fix it, but
It might be
most
for nothing.
it might be for nothing. The transmission might be destroyed, and you
Who's
like
gonna do that?
so that's the thing. The car is like in a horrendous state. Um, I mean, this is like a cautionary tale for you guys. Feel free to laugh at me because this was very, very stupid on my part. This could have been avoided at several steps, right? It would have been as easy as calling up a mechanic up in this city where the car was, and getting an appointment for the car, getting the guy to take the car there, get a checkup, get the mechanic to send me the results of the checkup, and then deciding from that whether or not to go get the car, right? Or just going on a weekday when I could have taken it to a proper mechanic myself, or when I felt that something was off with the car, just like find a way to get home and not buy it. So there's a lot of things I could have done better, but this is where I'm at. I'm now stuck with this like
So what's next? Like,
yeah.
is
So
that the spicy thing now?
okay,
Like,
so the spicy part of all this is I'm stuck with this like piece of shit car now that I spent a lot of money on like not that long ago, and so I don't know how this is in other countries. I mean, maybe in America this happens to you, you're just shit out of luck. I don't know, but I've started looking into this here in Spain, and there are specific laws for second-hand cars, and there's a specific law about hidden damages in a car. Which, if you buy a second-hand car and it turns out that you can prove that that car had damages before you bought it, which were not disclosed to you, uh,
mhm.
then you can hold the guy who sold it to you responsible for those damages or responsible for the loss in value of the car. And you don't even need to prove that the guy knew about it. So even if he had no idea about the damages, that is irrelevant to the case. All I
Yeah, you
need to,
can't do that anyways,
yeah,
honestly.
all I need to prove is that this damage didn't happen from me driving the car for 3 days. I need to be able to somehow prove that all of this damage that the car has was prior to those 3 days.
Can you prove that?
So I have hired a like professional investigatory mechanic to like someone who specializes in like this specific kind of case of like
Yeah.
I like this guy has to like drive like 2 hours to come like see the car, uh,
Holy
but
crap.
he's like specialized in like investigating these kinds of mechanical issues and like these hidden damages on secondhand cars. So I've got this guy coming on Monday to come do like a full inspection of the car and look into the details, see if, based on his experience, if he can ascertain as to how long this damage has been on the car. And he's going to write me a report based on his findings. And if that report can, conclusively say, which I hope it will, that that the car was basically fucked before I bought it, then I can take this guy to court, sue his ass, and try to either get him to pay for the car, get him to, give me the money back. I give him the car back. I already tried all of this, by the way. I tried calling up the guy, put
You
on,
said no?
yeah, so I put on like my friendliest possible tone. I was like, look, man, this really sucks. Like, the car is in bad shape. I don't know what's going on, but I can't deal with this. I would really just like to give you the car back and we just cancel all this. And keep in mind, I mean, I had the car for like 3 days, right?
You already paid him like in full now
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
point?
paid the car in full. And I was like, look, man, like, can we just get rid of this purchase and just can you take the car back? And the guy was like, no, like, I don't have the money. The money's gone. Like, it's not happening. And I was like, okay, well, can you at least help me pay for the damages that the car had? He's like, no, I can't. He doesn't even believe that there's any damages. He thinks that I'm just getting scammed by the dealer and whatever, and that the fact that the
God.
car was shaking, that's just that's nothing, man. Like, just walk it
Because
off.
it's a sports car.
Yeah, yeah, it's a sports car. So he's not going to collaborate at all. And I was like, look, man, if you're not going to help me out with this, like, the only thing I can do is like sue you, because I'm not just going to take this, like,
Yeah, yeah.
this isn't right,
Bullshit.
it's bullshit. And so
What do you say?
yeah, he was not going to, he doesn't even believe that there's anything wrong with the car. Like, he's sticking to his
So he
guns.
thinks he's not about to get sued or anything.
No, he's like, you can sue me. You do whatever you want. I know you're not gonna win. Like, the car's fine. Like, he doesn't actually believe that there's anything wrong with the car. Like, I'm reading him the report from the official dealer of the car, telling me everything that's wrong with it. Like, I'm
You
reading.
think he genuinely thinks that, or he's trying to like manipulate you?
Honestly, my honest opinion is that he knew what was wrong with the car, and this is just his way of trying to like shake me off, right?
Yeah.
But maybe.
Are we allowed to talk about this if it goes to?
Yeah.
Probably once it's a case, maybe you can't, but like it's not a case right now, right? So what's the?
Yeah, I mean, I did think like, should I be talking about this?
Well, you didn't name him or
No,
anything
no,
like that.
I
So it's just
not. This is guys. This is in Minecraft. Okay,
yeah.
this is all
It's just
hypothetical.
fictional.
This is all a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, none of this
It's
actually
like
happened.
it's like when Greg Doucette goes, "Oh, I'm not a doctor." It's like
Yeah.
you know.
So yeah, the guy is not going to play ball with me.
disclaimers.
He doesn't believe me. So my only option is, thankfully, there are these laws in Spain where you have 6 months to report a hidden damage on the car. For me, it wasn't 6 months. The damage became apparent like 3 days after I picked up the car. I don't think it's normal for a car to be shaking like
No.
violently when you're driving it. I'm
Never
not,
happened to my car.
yeah, I'm not talking about like a slight vibration. I'm talking about like violent shaking back and forth and like error messages and stuff. And on a car which someone has just told you has had a full, checkup and all the oil changes and everything was done, and then now they tell me that it's got oil leaks all over the place. I mean, I feel like I've been swindled. I've been bamboozled.
It's like, yeah.
This is a cautionary tale for everyone listening to this. Please do not make the mistake that I've just made. No matter what, no matter how trustworthy the guy seems to be, no matter how new or how low kilometers or miles this used car that you're looking at has, guys, get the checkup or get a warranty, right? Like, if you're getting the car with a warranty, then sure, whatever. But if not, you gotta take it to the mechanic, no matter what. Like you gotta get the car properly checked at every point, so that this doesn't happen to you. Because I mean, this is just it really sucks. Like, it really really
Yeah.
sucks.
Damn, I would be. I don't know how you have such a smile on your face talking about it, bro. Like that's some stressful ass shit.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it has been getting me like pretty stressed out, but I don't know. I try not to let it bother me. I mean, at this point there's not a whole lot I can do other than like try to follow the legal process for this sort of thing. And sadly, it's going to be a long time before this gets resolved. I mean, the courts in Spain, like they will give me a date like 2 or 3 years from now. Like this might not see the courthouse.
Years?
Yeah, like this might
Is that
be like
normal? Like,
2025 before this gets to court.
so you just basically kiss that money goodbye for now.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's what really sucks about this is not is that even if I do come
And but
out.
do you have a car now? Like, do you have a car at all now?
No, I mean my girlfriend has a car, so we're just gonna be sharing. But yeah, I mean that's yeah. I don't know what to do now. Like, do I try to fix the car with that quote that I have, and then hope that the car is okay, and then try to get the money back? Uh, in the court case that I had to spend on the car, do I like I think what I should do is just sell the car and then with the lawsuit try and get like the difference back, the difference between what I paid and
Who
what
do you
I'm
sell
gonna
the
get
car
for it
to?
now.
Like a junkyard or
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Like
pretty much it, right? Like you can't like because if you disclose everything, who's gonna buy it? You
that's
know?
the thing. Like, I paid for the car assuming it's in perfect condition. And so I paid like a market price for this car, right? I paid a lot of money for it. And
Yeah.
so and now the car is like fucked. And so how much money am I gonna get for it? Like a quarter of what I paid or less? Like and then I
Yeah.
can't go buy another car with that money. Like so what do I
No.
do? And it's gonna be years before this is resolved. So guys, I messed up big time. I mean, I don't think it is my fault because I could have avoided this, but obviously, I think this is kind of the other guy who's screwing me over. But the point of me sharing this here is really a cautionary tale to everyone. So, I bought a car once before and it was absolutely perfect. I bought it similar to this and like it was absolutely perfect. So I thought I could do it again and it would be fine. But no, it wasn't, and I got screwed over big time. I mean, now I don't have the money and I don't have the car either, so I got nothing, right?
And dude.
Yeah.
I thought this was gonna be like you suing someone for like taking like a YouTube short. I didn't think it would be this fucking crazy. Like
Yes.
this is like, oh yeah, that's a lot worse than I was expecting. But yeah, damn, dude, that's
Yeah.
rough.
Well, at least we had some content for the podcast, right? I mean, what that
Yeah,
was
I mean
like a
that's
solid 20-minute rant I just went on there, right?
was it. Yeah, went by quick because I was just like the whole time I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, so that sucks.
Yeah,
Not sure what else to say about that. I mean, I can keep you guys up to date over
I'll
the
say
next
good luck.
3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, jeez, man, that's 3 years. Is it like that in the U.S. too? Like, I need to find out. I'm gonna
Probably
ask.
not. I mean, from what I've read, like when it's like a criminal, like if there's a murder, then that gets like in the criminal court that stuff goes a bit quicker. But this is like
That's more.
yeah, this is like civil court, right?
Mhm.
So it's like a whole different thing, and it's just they just have like a huge backlog and like uh, I used to work in like real estate, right? And you'd sometimes have to deal with squatters, right? People would just like move into the
Yeah,
house and like stop paying rent or whatever, and like you couldn't just like kick him out, right? You had to like go through a court process to get people out of the house. You couldn't just call the police and be like, kick the people out, right? That's not how it works. You had to sue them and then get the court to order them evicted out of the house, right? And I mean, imagine when it takes 2 years or 3 years for your case to get to court And in the
They're just
meantime,
chilling rent free.
you have some asshole living in your house, destroying the place, not paying for electricity, not paying for water, and they're just absolutely wrecking your house, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't kick them out. You can't even cut off the electricity. Like you can't cut off the electricity, cut off the water because like especially if they have kids or something, then you can get in trouble for that for like cutting off the essential supplies to the family. So
Wow.
man, it's like bad. Like the courts are so like bottlenecked or whatever here that it just takes years for anything to happen. So I don't know. I don't know how that is for you guys in America, but here it's pretty rough.
I'm definitely gonna look into it because now I'm curious. Because yeah, I did not think it was something like 3 years.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you were gonna get this solved in like a couple months.
I hope so, man. I mean, I'm talking based on the experience from the courts where I live.
Hmm.
Maybe, up in the north of Spain, they have different
Better.
courts there, so maybe it's better. But from what I know, the whole country is like really, really slow when it comes to these things. So honestly, I do not expect anything to happen for like the next 2 years, honestly. But I hope I'm wrong about that. So we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna get a report from this like investigative mechanic, and I'm gonna try and go to the guy again with the report and be like, look, man, like it's pretty cut and dry, right? So
Yeah,
can
you
we just
fucked me over.
yeah,
What do we
like,
do now?
can we make a deal here? Like, let's save ourselves the hassle. Because I mean, obviously, if you're gonna get subpoenaed to court, like this is gonna be a hassle for you too. It's gonna be a hassle for me, even if it's 2 years down the line. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. So
Yeah.
let's make a deal. But I don't think the guy's gonna play ball, so I think I'm gonna have to wait it out. And luckily this is a podcast that no one watches on my second channel, so I'm sure this won't get
Oh,
out and cause me any issues.
yeah. Nah, like the dude is literally gonna watch it. He's gonna be like first comment. He's gonna be like, "Dude, I'm taking you to talking about this. You're fucked."
Yeah, oh, imagine. Uh, Thankfully, I don't think he speaks English, so I'm all good.
There you go. Yeah, he doesn't even know your channel exists,
Yeah,
probably.
no, he doesn't. So thankfully, yeah, that's good. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. Guys, if you get in my situation, first of all, make sure you get a mechanic. And then, second of all, don't go on a podcast discussing all the details of the lawsuit that you're about to file. Okay? Those are
Well,
my.
it's fictional, so it's fine.
Yeah, this is all in Minecraft, guys. This is all in Minecraft.
Damn Minecraft car salesman,
Yeah, oh.
a horse salesman.
Yeah.
Give you a
Okay.
shitty horse with like one half heart left.
Yeah, you got good on those Minecraft
Oh
courts.
man,
Yeah. So that's my story.
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I think that's about it.
That's about
Because I was
it.
gonna say something about like liking Jeffrey Schofield's dieting strategy, but I feel like we kind of talked about diet already a good amount.
Yeah.
Where's my lighting?
Okay, you gotta give us a pose, Aiden. Show us the shreds.
Oh yeah, so basically, since I have OCD, I use this little book here of shitty, stupid workout stuff, and also those certifications I have are also from this.
Nice.
So very silly NASM certification. Not why I have arms like that. So I put that there. Let's see, where's the lighting? See, my neck shrinks though. How do you get the best of both worlds, huh?
The Natty Talk podcast pose off. This is a mandatory end to every podcast.
We do that with the guests too, so it's
Yeah,
like whatever.
yeah, we're gonna have to
Oh
get some
man,
guests on next time. Yeah,
yeah,
we
I got a
won't
few
reveal
people in mind.
anything. But yeah, we got a couple people in mind. I think it might be quite good to do like maybe one with a guest, one without a guest, something like that. Um, yeah. Anyway,
Alternate back and forth.
yeah. All right. I think that's it, right? So, Natty Talk Podcast, episode 5. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And maybe see you next week. Like, I don't know. Would be nice to get this going a bit more consistently. So,
For
yeah.
sure,
All right. See ya.
you guys.